Kepler 452b, discovered by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope in July 2015, is often called Earth's older sibling. It's located about 1,400 light-years away in the Cygnus constellation and is roughly 60% larger in diameter than Earth. It orbits its parent star, Kepler 452, which is a G2-type main-sequence star, basically the same class as our Sun, same temperature, same color, just about 1.5 billion years older than Sun. A year there lasts 385 Earth days, and the planet sits squarely in the habitable zone, so if Kepler 452b has an atmosphere with the right pressure, it could, at least in theory, host oceans or clouds. But that's the catch. We don't yet know if it even has an atmosphere. With current telescopes, it's just too far for direct measurement. For all we know, it could be a thriving world with blue skies or a bare, airless rock. TOI 700D, discovered in 2020 by NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or TESS, is almost Earth-like exoplanet. It's about 101 light-years away in the Dorado constellation, orbiting a red dwarf star about 40% the mass of our Sun. A year there lasts just 37 Earth days. The planet itself is roughly 20% larger than Earth, likely rocky, and sits right in the star's habitable zone. But red dwarfs blast radiations which could strip away atmosphere. We don't yet know what its atmosphere looks like, but models suggest it would have a dense, Earth-like mix of nitrogen and carbon dioxide. It could maintain surface temperatures between 0 and 30 degrees Celsius.
Kepler 62e, also called the Ocean World, was discovered in June 2013 by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope. It is about 1,200 light-years away from us in the Lyra constellation. Yeah, the same which has the brightest star in our sky. The planet itself is about 1.6 times larger than Earth. Models suggest it has no landmass, no continent, just water. It orbits Kepler 62, a K-type star, and sits right in the star's habitable zone, warm enough for water to exist in liquid state. Its atmosphere would likely be thick with water vapor, creating constant clouds. Scientists find it fascinating because millions of years ago, life first began on Earth around the hydrothermal vents in the ocean. So a world like this might be the perfect laboratory for alien evolution.
Gliese 357d is a super-Earth, is about 31 light-years away from us in the Hydra constellation. In 2019, NASA's TESS mission spotted tiny dips in the star's light, revealing not one, not two, but 3 planets. The outermost one, 357d, is about twice the size of Earth and is orbiting at the edge of the star's habitable zone. Compared to Earth, it is much closer to its star, but since the star is cooler and dimmer, it receives less amount of sunlight overall. It likely has surface temperature of negative 64 degrees Celsius, colder than Antarctic. But if it has atmosphere, it might trap enough heat for water to exist in liquid state. However, we don't know yet if it has an atmosphere. For now, it still is a mysterious frozen world, but with future telescopes, we might be able to peek into its atmosphere. Proxima Centauri b is the closest potentially habitable exoplanet we have discovered. It's 4.2 light-years away from Earth and orbits Proxima Centauri, a red dwarf star so small you could fit 8 of them inside our Sun. The planet itself is about 1.2 times Earth's mass and orbits its star once every 11 Earth days. That short orbit keeps it in the habitable zone. Here's the thing. Proxima b is tidally locked, which means one side always faces its star, while the other side is frozen dark. The only comfortable place might be the narrow terminator zone between them. But Proxima Centauri isn't exactly friendly. It's a flare star, unleashing bursts of radiation. If Proxima b doesn't have a thick atmosphere or a powerful magnetic field, those flares could strip it bare. K2-18b is an exoplanet with the most promising evidence for life we have ever found. It is 124 light-years away from Earth. It is 2.5 times bigger and 8.1 times more massive than Earth. Discovered by NASA's Kepler telescope, K2-18b orbits a cool red dwarf star right inside the habitable zone. Models suggest the planet likely generates internal heat, which means volcanoes, tectonic activity, and maybe even a hidden global ocean beneath its thick hydrogen atmosphere. In 2019, JWST,
or the James Webb Space Telescope, detected methane, carbon dioxide, dimethyl sulfide, and dimethyl disulfide, a gas that, on Earth, is produced almost entirely by life in the oceans. So this exoplanet might very well host alien life.